Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test postgraduate results. That's NEET PG 2025. Our mission. Simple. We want to cut through all the noise out there, clarify those official timelines, make sense of the cutoffs, and really map out that whole admission journey for you so you know exactly what's happening, the anticipation around these results. It's been huge, right?
It's absolutely palpable.
Yeah, we're talking over 2.42 lakh candidates. That's a massive number.
It really is.
All competing for, maybe 40,000 plus seats. It's incredibly competitive.
Definitely.
And what I find really interesting is this gap between what people were expecting timeline-wise and what the official word actually is. What's the real story there? What's the confirmed deadline we should all be looking at?
That's a great point. So the official line, the one from the National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences and BEAMS, it's always been clear. The results are due on or by September 3rd, 2025. That's the date, set in stone.
September 3rd? Okay.
Right. Now, this paradox of speculation you mentioned, that's exactly why it felt like a delay to some people. A lot of folks were thinking, third or fourth week of August.
Right. I heard that too. Why was that?
Well, it wasn't just a random guess. It came from the fact that the 2025 exam was just a single shift, August 3rd, or 2024. That had two shifts.
Oh, yeah. The normalization took time.
Exactly. Needed that time-consuming normalization. So the logic was single shift means faster results, right?
Makes sense.
But crucially, the delay people felt wasn't a delay from the official deadline. It was just different from what everyone was guessing, that unofficial anticipation.
Got it. So the official date holds firm. Once September 3rd hits, or maybe even before, how do candidates actually get their results? Is it just one big data dump?
Good question. No, it's actually a two-part thing, which can sometimes cause a bit of confusion. First up, you'll see something called the Result Cum Merit List.
Okay.
That's a public PDF. You'll find it on the official websites, natboard.edu.in or nbbpu.edu.in. It's mainly for a quick check, like, did I qualify?
It's just a basic check.
Right. But the really critical document, the one you absolutely need, is the individual scorecard. You get that through your personal login. And it's packed with detail.
Like what specifically?
Everything. Your marks out of 800, your all India rank, your category rank, percentile, even how many questions you got right and wrong. Seriously, think of that scorecard as your strategic key for counseling. Every number on there matters.
Okay, so the scorecard is gold. Now let's talk about that first hurdle on the list. Qualified. What does that actually mean with the cutoffs?
Right, qualified. So NBIMS sets official percentiles. For general and UWS, it's the 50th percentile. For SC/ST/OBC, including those with disabilities, it's the 40th. And for the unreserved persons with disabilities category, URPWD, it's the 45th percentile.
Percentiles, okay. But that's not the same as the actual marks needed, is it?
Exactly. That's the key distinction. The marks required to hit that percentile, that can change year to year. Depends on how everyone did, how tough the paper was.
Any historical context? What were the marks like recently?
Yeah, good idea. So looking back at 2024 and 2023, the cutoff marks were 291 for general UWS. For SC/ST/OBC, it was 257, and for URPWD, 274. Pretty consistent the last couple of years.
Okay. So based on that, any projections for 2025? Ballpark figures.
We can project some ranges, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on trends, maybe look for unreserved UWS somewhere between, say, 275 and 320 marks. For SD/ST/OBC, maybe 245 to 275. These are just projections, of course.
Understandable. And specific branches must have their own higher cutoffs, too.
Oh, absolutely. Things like radio diagnosis, you might be looking at projections around 545 marks. General medicine, maybe around 540. It gets very specific.
Right. So, okay, let's say you've qualified. You've got your scorecard. You know your rank. What's next? This is where the real planning starts, right? The counseling and admission.
Exactly. The post-result journey. And you asked about traps earlier.
Yeah. What's the biggest pitfall here?
I think the single biggest trap is not fully grasping the two parallel counseling systems. You've got the Medical Counseling Committee, the MCC. They handle the 50% all India quota seats, plus all the seats in deemed and central universities.
Okay, MCC for all India.
Right. Then the other 50%, the state quota seats, those are managed by the individual state authorities. Each state runs its own show.
So you might need to track two different processes depending on what you're aiming for.
Precisely. And you need to know the schedule. Tentatively, Round 1 registration and choice filling should kick off sometime in September 2025. Then you'll have Round 2, a mop-up round, and maybe even a stray vacancy round. Missing deadlines here is just not an option.
What do candidates need to have ready for counseling, documents-wise?
The essentials. your NEET PG admit card, definitely that scorecard we talked about, your MBBS degree certificate, proof of internship completion, your registration certificate from MCI or NMC provisional or permanent.
Standard medical career stuff.
Yep. Plus a photo ID, and of course, any category certificates if they apply, CAST, PWD, etc.
Oh, and be prepared for fees. There's usually a non-refundable registration fee and then a refundable security deposit.
Refundable unless...
Unless you get allotted a seat and then don't join, then you might forfeit that deposit. So be sure about your choices.
It sounds incredibly detailed. One last specific question that always intrigues me. What if two candidates get the exact same score, down to the decimal, if applicable?
Yeah.
How is that tie broken?
Yeah, it happens. And there's a very clear step-by-step process, like a mini investigation. First, they look at who got more answers correct. Simple as that. Accuracy first.
Okay, number of correct answers.
If it's still tied after that, which is rare but possible, they look at who had fewer negative responses, so fewer incorrect answers.
Fewer mistakes. Makes sense.
Right. And if somehow they're still tied after checking corrects and incorrects,
Then what?
then it literally comes down to age. The older candidate gets the higher rank.
Wow. Older in age. Okay, it's a systematic way to ensure every single factor is considered.
That is fascinatingly detailed. Okay, wow, that's definitely a lot to process, but hopefully breaking it down like this gives you a much clearer roadmap. Understanding all these little nuances really does give you an edge for these next critical steps in your medical career.
It really does. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Beyond just knowing the rules, the dates, the numbers, how can truly understanding these mechanisms, the why behind the what, actually empower you to navigate this whole complex journey with maybe a bit more confidence and hopefully a bit less anxiety? Something to think about.